Hi, everybody. Glenn Reindl here. Just going through school board choices. Now, previously, SBA has gone through to have committees. We've sent out mailers. We've asked questionnaires for different school board members. But in this case, we're kind of just, or I should say, I'm kind of just focusing on what I know about the candidates. I feel like having been in a number of school board meetings, having been in a lot of public events, I feel like I am at least comfortable in the choices that I'm going to make. And I'd like to tell you why I made those choices in the candidates. Now, the primary, which is taking place February 20th, we really urge everybody to go out and vote. Vote February 20th. There's 7 candidates, but Heidi Sorensen has dropped out. So 6 candidates will move on to the April election. So technically, everybody who's currently still running will move on, but a good showing in the primary is important. And what you see in front of you is Will Scheider. He is the only one that I'm going to be voting for in the primary, and I'll explain why. Will Scheider is somebody I've known for a couple of years, just casually. We've been in a lot of the same political and activist organizations over the past couple of years. I spoke with him just last week. He is currently a educational assistant sub, a special education teacher sub, a Ben Franklin full-time sub as far as like a building level sub. He's been doing that this year, but he's very attuned to educational issues. If you're looking for somebody who's going to speak to teacher issues, whether it be pay, whether it be union rights, whether it be funding for education or funding for money in the classroom or for the student, Will is somebody I trust implicitly. I mean, granted, he is young, but he is been involved in the activities and the campaigns that have kind of revolved around education a lot. So I feel he's very experienced and he's very supportive of teachers' roles, in so much as the fact that not only has he been in the schools since the beginning of the year, but also, like I said, with the work of the Democratic Party, he is someone who I feel I can trust and understands the issues that are moving forward. So Will Scheider is the only person I'm going for. Now, one of the reasons why I'm only voting for him in the primary because he's new. He has the support of the Democratic Party and the support of the Central Wisconsin Progressive Group that you find in a lot of different media sites. But in addition, I feel like if somebody does good in the primary, it's kind of like it gives them more inevitability, saying, "Oh, hey, this is must be somebody we need to find out about or we know about," and it gives it more of a likely chance of them moving on to the school board. So that's why, for me, I'm just voting once. I mean, all 6 candidates are moving forward, but the numbers in the primary still matter. So that's the one that I'm voting for. The second one I'm also going to be voting for is Meg Erler. Now, Meg Erler is somebody who was previously board president, who I would admit we had issues within the union from her. She was very strict in what she allowed to get to the board. She didn't want any negativity coming out from what was going on in the schools, and we had some difficulty. Since stepping aside, having conversations with her, and just having some issues come forward, I feel like I can trust her to understand what's going on in the school situation, the funding situation, and generally supporting teachers. She is someone who's also has also agreed, just like Will, to accept the coordination and potential funding from the Democratic Party and also from the Central Wisconsin Progressives. And these are 2 groups that I do trust. They do really try to reach out to teachers and speak to us and ask for our opinions and ideas. And like I said, I think they're very good groups to have. And so with Meg support, she's working with them. I would also support her. She is somebody I'll probably be voting for the school board, but not for the primary. That would just be Will. The other person that I'd be looking for to vote for is Judy Rano. Now, Judy Rano has not agreed to coordinate and work with the Democratic Party, the Central Wisconsin Progressives, but she at least is someone who I felt is very much a supporter of education. Most of her votes have always come down to an idea of if there's money needed, she supports it. If there are issues with teachers, she's never been openly critical about anything in education. She's one of the quieter members, but I do feel like she is a strong voting member for when it comes to education and funding. She's generally always been in support of it. So for me, the school board election, for primary, I'm going to be voting for Will Scheider. And for school board, I would vote for Ranow, Erler, and Scheider. And those are my 3 choices. Now, some people can say, well, what about others? Why am I not voting for them? Well, in this case, let's take, for example, as we go up, Jim Lepak. Being a social studies teacher, I teach diversity courses. I teach many other courses. And Jim Lepak, I feel, is a one-issue candidate who has come forward publicly and behind the scenes to ask that certain things that I would consider completely uncontroversial not be taught to any children at all, that generally undermining the requirements of what we had. The past couple of months within our social Responsibilities Department, it has not been good at all, where I felt like there has been a push from school board members, unnamed school board members, who are seeking to take away any sort of right we have to teach anything that would be deemed controversial, anything from diversity to talking about minority issues to talking about any issues with sexual orientation, anything, even sometimes with public health. And I think as a one issue candidate, I do not support Jim, and I don't think he's going to add anything to the school board besides possibly restricting what generally the vast majority of us would agree are important and essential learnings. Um, Bob Larson is basically a budget hawk. I'm at the school board meeting February 12th last night. He's generally about keeping taxes low. He's been on the school board before. He's affable enough to talk to, but he doesn't want to understand today's education. He doesn't want to understand what goes on in the classroom. I mean, he will speak to things in general terms. He'll pull numbers out of national averages as he's done before and say, look, this is what national average is. This is what it should be. He doesn't want a quality school district. He doesn't necessarily care. Like, a teacher is a teacher is a teacher. Money is money is money. And like I said, he's not going to bring any original ideas. And like I said, in the past couple of school board meetings, he's identifying himself as somebody who's going to maintain fiscal responsibility, i.e., make sure the vast majority of you are not going to get any raises or any pay commensurate to what you do, and generally will not support anything that may not be seen as just core to our education. So that's why I can't support him. Some people previously had supported Miguel Campos. Originally, Miguel Campos came onto the board, and again, he was appointed. He did not get elected the last time. He was appointed. He was in a group running with Jen Bushman, Alex Summers, and their support came from a Republican or conservative group. And again, you probably know many people are Republicans and Democrats, but when it comes to a specific issue like education in Wisconsin, I'm very concerned about conservative or Republican issues viewed on education. I mean, generally, if you look at mainstream Wisconsin, Republican issues revolving education, it's dealing with cultural issues, it's dealing with book banning, it's dealing with, I mean, originally from Scott Walker, it's dealing with making sure teachers' unions are not strong, making sure that teachers do not have say in what they do. These are things that are all, I think, I don't want to say directly related to Mr. Campos. Like I said, as far as some of you know who he is, I've seen him in many social circles that I'm in, but never, never spoken to him much more than a hello and things like that. But my concern is, like I said, that association. I have not seen him do anything that have been altered or somehow that has gone beyond what we've talked about previously, dealing with issues like this. And again, there is a push within the school board. I don't know if it's coming from the president or also from Miguel and also from Alex Summers, that is wanting to limit what we teach in the classroom, is not wanting us to open up to some issues that I think may be difficult or very very merited, and they're being studied. So for Mr. Campos, as far as, like I said, the relationship, whether it be peripheral, whether it not be real with a Republican Party, I don't know that he adds. And I think Will Schrader is a big upgrade. Even Meg Erler, also with Judy Rano being the third that I'm voting for. So anyway, those are just my opinions. Take them for what you want. I'm giving you explanations. You can have alternate explanations, but for me, in the February primary, it'll be Will Scheider, and for the school board, I'll be voting for Meg Erler, Judy Rano, and Will Scheider again. So hopefully that explains everything. Hopefully you can see also in this ad some of the things I've been shopping for along the line vehicle wise. But anyway, sorry for the last video I had corrupted onto the sheet. So this is the second time I'm going through, so it might be a little wordy. Anyway, take care and make sure you vote February 20th and again in the April primary.